Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Hollywood Animal, and we're going to continue with our madcap adventures with Stubborn Mule Studios and see what else the RNG can throw at us. We'll see. Okay, Dewey Sanders, my contract has expired, but I'd be happy to keep working together. Yes, I want to keep Dewey. I think this is that Dewey, not the other Dewey. I can't quite remember how that worked, but we're going to want to keep this guy. He's going to be expensive. We can give him some gifts. That'll help. Still over 200,000. He's going to come in a little under 200,000. Yeah, pretty much right at. So there we go. But I do want to keep him. He's an 8.1. He's way up there. You know what? We didn't check any resources in the last episode to see if anybody had come available. Let's go ahead and do that. Every once in a while, there's a gem sitting out there, and it's like, what happened? They just had a disagreement with their boss on the wrong day, and that was that. And not seeing that just yet here, and that's okay. I'm not seeing anybody I want to grab out of the actors, screenwriters. Jeff Short could be okay. He's a little expensive. Also not as good as the guy we have that costs about the same, so maybe not. Directors. Nothing screaming at me there. Producers. Nothing screaming at me there. I do usually end up taking Roy Schneider at some point. No particular reason other than he tends to be one of the better ones and more affordable as things go along, but nope, I think we're in good shape then. I'm not really looking to pick up any of these folks. Okay. Well, we didn't miss much. At least we don't think we did. Rolling right along. Difficulty on. Drink from my skull. Someone put candy in Concepcion Munoz's magazine bag, but it wasn't candy. Disgusting? Yes, very disgusting. We will find the Joker, and we can do that because we have security on site. So that guy's going to end up with a broken leg or something, I would bet. And here's the result to that. They found the person. He's already gone. All right, but at least she will rest easy. One of my less, oh boy, here we go. One of my less favorite examples of how some of these things work. Okay, so here the director is dealing with an actress who refuses to eat meat. Well, we will try to work around that. After all, she is drinking from a skull. You wouldn't think that eating beef would be a problem, but that's people, right? That's people. Okay. Moving right along. Looks like this is going to hit first. The madcap heiress is going to be ready to move forward. Boom, there it is. Awesome, we climbed up just a little bit. Head of pre-production improved. That's always a plus too. We'll go with money again. And then continue. Locations and costumes brought this one down a little bit. So our medium level costumes aren't good enough just yet. Okay, well, it's a take. There we go. That one's moving ahead. Clock with three hands isn't tearing it up at the box office. I think we kind of knew that. It really didn't tear it up at the box office. It is going to report a loss. That's disappointing. Very disappointing. Did I forget to advertise for it? No, it had an advertising campaign. Wow. It was a 2.9. Yeah, I keep saying dot. Very much in my career right now, I think. Work is in my head. I need to get that out of there. 2.9. Yeah, that's pretty low, but I would have thought that we'd have... I would have thought we'd do a little better than this. So that's a little bit embarrassing, but cutting our losses. No reason to let that agony go on. Who wrote this one? I will go and check that out in the future. I bet it's a Jim Lutz movie. That's my guess. we can go over here. So you can check on that. I think you go to distribution, your distribution headquarters. Is that this? Yeah. And I think you can go to released films, A Clock with Three Hands, and we can look at it, the details of it. Who wrote this piece of crap? It was Jim Lutz. Look at that. Oh, that's too bad. Maybe we need to give him some happiness, something to be happy about. Maybe that's part of his agony or... Yeah, where is he? Here he is. Let's give him a gift. I don't know. I am going to reward your mediocrity. There we go. Step it up, Jim. Okay. Next thing is hitting the theater in about 11 days. And our services guy advanced. Always good to see that. We'll go with the cash option again. And I think it's time to look at a script that just got written. Not great. Okay, Wild West with a cop and evil witch and a rival. I'm thinking that one is probably not getting kept. Yeah, we're gonna can that one. Somebody was off their rocker. That was Roger. Oh yeah, okay, that was when we assigned to him over here in the ideas barn, isn't it? I'm not going to blame him so much for that. Let's give him a cowboy thriller in an American town. That feels like a Mark Twain book or something, doesn't it? Give it a try, Roger. Let us know what you come up with. Yeah, some of those are shame on me. That one was shame on him, I think. Anyway, maybe I meant that the other way around. Who knows? All right. So Gangster's Moon is coming out, and I'm really hoping this one does well. 2 stars, 1 star. Oh, that guy's crazy. 2 stars. It's a B. It literally scored a B. I would have thought a little better. 260s though. Okay, well. Spent a little money on that one, didn't we? Theater rental. Yeah, I remember that. I remember making that decision. I wasn't even drunk. But, all right. Moving forward here. Hopefully it has a big first week. I was going to say, watch it say 200,000. I'll take 900,000 though. That's not bad. My contract is up. I don't think so, Lewis. Good luck working for Gerstein. He's going to love you. Hey, look at that. Gerstein. Speak of the actual devil. All right. So he tells us that I'm trying to remember what this is. He's worried about the storm that is coming to Hollywood to censor what we do. And he wants to do something about it. And he's basically giving us a heads up that he's got an idea. There's good news on the way, is how it ends. I'm going to say I'm waiting with bated breath. I don't know that there's any difference in what you say there. So line office is produced. Line production office is complete. Those are the words I was going for. And got a couple of options here. A level 3 soundstage would be fantastic. High level service is definitely a plus. I'm not as worried about this, although at one point, no, that's not the one I'm worried about. I am going to go with auxiliary film crew because this can start to save you some money in the long run. And I'm going to bank on it being a good deal. Knocking 100 days off is going to be worth the $200,000. So going with that, moving ahead. First week was 900,000 for Gangster's Moon. I'm really pleased with that. Oh, we have a building available. I totally forgot about that. The Radio Hour. That looks interesting. Who's this one? Rick. Of course it's Rick. Rick does good work. Corrupt Official. Loving that. Modern American City, Working Man, Corrupted Official, Avenging Loved Ones, Antagonist Repents. This is a good one. We're going to start it. We're going for it right now. Give it to Homer. Put it on a good sound stage. Homer's good on location, so we'll use location where we can. It's a modern American town, I bet, right? Nope, it's a city. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll do these. We will call back oh wow, 138 days though. That is a lot. We're gonna have to definitely bring these in house. I think that'll work. Even city interiors, maybe. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with that. That feels like a lot of days. It's hard to believe this adds up to 117 when you include weekends. Nonetheless, moving on. Filming it in Technicolor. Wonder if that's actually one of the technologies you end up with. Anyway. Sparing no expense on this one. Rick generally puts together really good movies, and here is where we run into a wall. Our really solid producers are all out. In fairness, though, he's just barely below this, so we're going to go with that, and we're going to hope to pick it up a little bit with our director, and I think we can do that. He's good with action. This is not action. Let's go with Albert then. It's not much of a drop off. He's still above, and yeah, we're going to go with that. Another one where the lead is a woman. Okay. We're setting trends there in Hollywood, aren't we? We're going to go with Bessie Patterson on that one. And her mentor is going to be, Louis Blair. Because a superstar, alcoholic with promising talent as a mentor is often a good combination, right? I'm thinking it is. It's a drama. It's a thriller. He hasn't been in either. That's a good thing for us too. We're going with him. And then the corrupt official, definitely Sam Duncan. He's been a bandit. He's been a criminal gang. He's known to be a bad guy. He's a little young, but that's all right. 520,000. I think that's going to work out well. There we go. What have we... wrong button. What have we not built? Line production office, of course. Sorry about that, folks. Let that get away from me a little bit. This is one where, you know what? We're going to save the money and we're going to send the repair crew out there. That's a lot of money. And we're not even going to be putting it into use right away. I typically build the things because I can, not because I have immediate use for them. But that might not always be the best approach. The script doctor is done. We're going to go back over to this side. We could ask about sequels. How much is that going to take? 1,500 days. We already did develop new story elements. Develop them by category is not so bad. What about up here, though? 500 days. We're doing that. Definitely doing that. And we can stop at 8 for a while. I have found that going past 8 starts to feel like you're just putting things in because you can, at least early on when you don't have a lot of elements to work with. So we'll see what happens there. But we're going to go with that. All right. His contract is up. Oh, thank you, Vincent, but I think we're going to let you go work for Shamrock. And second week from Gangster's Moon is in, and it looks like it was pretty good. We should be in the profit zone now for sure. Russell Simmons. Now, Russell is one that I don't mind hanging on to. He's one of my original crew, right? He takes the roles we assign him, and he doesn't complain. We'll give him a watch for his loyalty. We'll give him the full package. There we go. All righty. The man from Ramsey Square. I am positive I didn't type that in. So this has got to be one of the ideas that's getting worked. Is this Zimmerman? It is. He didn't do too bad. We're going to shelve the idea. We'll come back to it maybe. We'll see. In the meantime, let's see if he can go work on an element for us. I know he doesn't have a whole lot of a chance for it. He's 25% basically. Gangster's Moon. There we go. Still pulling in a lot of folks and a lot of money. We're going to definitely set up continued distribution for this one. And we knew we were going to run into this, that we were going to have limited availability of theaters, but that's okay. We're just going to go with it. Put it in every theater that we own that isn't in use, and that'll be fine. And we'll run that right out. That'll probably be the end of its run then. Run it to there and confirm. Doyle's big break. Is it a big break or a big flop? Wow. We're all over the place here. Extended medical coverage has happened. So I then usually like to go this way again. So we kind of bounce back and forth between these two trees. This one isn't even available to us right now. Not into that one so much. So we're going to go with whiskey. Whiskey is still contraband, as prohibition is still in full effect. I do not want to spend every point on this. I think we'll be okay just spending the cash. Getting it out in 4 months. That's not 4 months. That's 6 months, right? 7 months. 8 months. 8 months. Doyle, you gave us $300,000 as promised. Gotta love that. And he will murder people for us. Well, I mean, what else can you ask for, right, folks? We can give somebody a vicious beating or just threaten them, you know, or we could just have them offed altogether now. All right. I guess better to be friends than enemies with that guy, right? Okay, there we go. And then the movie, an A-, not bad. Yeah, we're going to end up spending some additional theater time on this one, I think. Rick Bruno leveled up there. Good. Doyle's big break. It's going to be 600,000. All right. Drink from My Skull has completed its run through production. Now we got to go to post-prod. I'm going to put the good folks on this one because those numbers looked really good. Yeah, it's a 7. We want to try to do our best with that. So we're going to put this guy, Ramon Ray, and the composer is going to be Lewis. And then the standard treatment of stuff here. And we're going to start production. Okay. Drink from My Skull. This is probably the composer thing, right? During editing of the final scene, took a long time to come together. The director is completely exhausted. Ramon's happiness is decreased. Well, that's disappointing. I don't like that. But we can at least address it. Come up here to employees, editors, and give Ramon some gifts. Who doesn't like a watch when they're feeling down? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Harry Ray, we're going to let him go. I don't think he's worth $47,000 a year. We're going to let you go, Harry. He can go work for, it's not Shamrock or the other one. Who else has he got out there? He can go work for Hephaestus. I don't even know how to say that. Hephaestus, I guess. Yeah. Or Evergreen. I can say that one easily. That is a word I've said before. All right, Jessica France, her contract is up. We do want to hold on to Jessica. I think we can, she's going to be my new Lydia Globe. She's going to be the one I try to hold on to because she's a good person and has been here for a while. Oh boy, I don't want to spend that much effort on her because it's negative return. Let's just give her cash at that point. There we go. $6,000 for 3 years. That feels like a deal. And we're going to move this one along. The Radio Hour. Nice. I believe this was the Rick Bruno movie. We did cut back a little bit on it because it was like going to take 140 days. Well, let's go ahead and put we'll put this new guy on there. It looks like he doesn't have any experience at all yet. I'd have to think that means he hasn't done any work for us yet. All right. This feels like a good point to go ahead and hit the brakes And well, after we deal with Barb Fischer, though, her contract has expired. Oh, I do love hanging on to Barb. She's awesome. She does what we ask her to do. What more can you ask of an employee, right? She's going to get the full package. Here we go. Okay. Going to try this one more time. Feels like a good spot to wrap things up for today. I want to thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that. I would appreciate it. It does help me out. But either way, I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, fair travels.